Retargeting 101. In this training, I'm going to explain exactly what retargeting is, if you should be using it, and how to get started. So if you've ever clicked on an ad on Instagram or Facebook, chances are if they're a big marketer, you would have kept seeing their ads, and those ads would be following you around the internet. That's retargeting. Also the case if maybe you've gone to look for a bed and searched on Amazon or Argos, and next thing you know, when you go on your Facebook, you can see ads for beds everywhere. Same sort of thing. Advertisers are aware of your interests and your movements through pixels or cookies, and they're retargeting you because they believe you're a more qualified lead. And you're probably already using some form of retargeting right now, even if you've never run paid ads before. And I'm going to recommend 2 strategies to get started with retargeting, and then I'm going to walk through the steps of setting them up in the following videos. So just to get you thinking about like what retargeting is, if you imagine you have your Instagram following and you've got all your followers in there, when you create an offer, you're going to market to this audience because it's a warm audience, rather than just trying to market to strangers who are never going to buy your thing because there's no like and trust. That is retargeting. It doesn't necessarily need to be an ad. It can be that you just created posts, stories, and sent messages to people. That, in its simplest form, is retargeting. How I use retargeting on a day by day and week by week basis in my business, just to give you more of an idea of how this is useful. So one strategy that I do is I run ads to school. So click an ad and you go to what's called the School About page, which explains what it is you're going to join. And then a percentage of people come in and actually join the community. Now, usually that is about 20% of people, which is kind of like the benchmark for school. So 80% of people that saw the ad but didn't choose to join. So these are the people that I want to retarget with other ads, but with a different perspective, a different creative, maybe longer form, because I already know they're kind of interested, but they just need another nudge. And this only needs to be like a small amount of my budget per day to just recapture these people. So how can you use retargeting? Well, there's 2 strategies that I would recommend for you, depending on your stage of where you are. One is an awareness retargeting strategy, and the other is a DM strategy. So what do I mean by awareness? Well, if you think about social media and how much reach your posts actually get, it's probably about 8 to 10% of your audience are actually seeing your stuff, which can be really, really frustrating. Someone comes into your audience, maybe you exchange some messages, and you're just hoping, like, if they liked your content, they probably will see it, but if they don't, then they probably won't, because they probably already follow thousands of other accounts. So an awareness campaign is actually forcing Meta to show your content to these people. There's not necessarily a call to action. It's just making sure that they see your stuff within a certain window, because we know within the first 2 weeks or 30 days, that is when someone is most likely to take action on your offer, because it's new, right? They're still in that kind of like honeymoon phase where they've come in, your page looks great, your offer looks really good. Maybe you've started conversations and getting to know them. So this could look like 4 to like 7 different posts. Now, if you've been through the content that converts training and GPT, these would be great ones to use, because we want to be busting people's beliefs within these first 7 to 14 days. So content around there, or just like your highest performing content. You want to think about client stories. You want to think about your actual offer, anything that you want people to absolutely know, so that when you have an offer or you create a conversation, they've already seen it and it's already warm. And you only literally need to spend, like, depending on your audience size, like for most coaches, a pound would probably get you 200 impressions per day, which for most people is more than enough that they have coming in. So this is a really powerful one. I'm going to go through step by step of how to set this up. And then a DM retargeting campaign is when we have either a lead magnet or an offer. And we set this up as an engagement campaign because we want Meta to optimize for people that are going to engage with our post and actually send a message. So as with all of our campaigns, we want to set up at least, I would say, 5 creatives to test with the Meta ads platform with a CTA to DM you about the thing. And this is going to go to your warm audience, which is going to be your followers or people that watched your videos or people that engaged with your page or people that have been to your website, because these people are much more likely to respond to your thing. But again, with the algorithm, you do an offer, you create a post, you do some stories, chances are a small percentage of your audience are seeing it, and you might not have time to send 1,000 DMs to everyone in your audience. So this is a really great way of making sure that your offer is seen by everyone, and there's a really easy mechanism for them to get into a conversation with you. So in the next videos, we're going to break down how to set up these 2 campaigns so you can get started with retargeting.